everyone, welcome to the channel Tunes from NCERT. So our today's topic of discussion is Phylum Ctenophora and the Phylum Platyhelminthes. So let's start today's topic. The organisms of Phylum Ctenophora are commonly known as sea wallets or the comb jellies. So what are the exclusive features? They are exclusively marine, radially symmetrical, diploblastic organisms. As I have already told you, marine means they live in sea water, salty water, saline water. Radially symmetrical means that if we cut it from the center or anywhere, they are divided in two equal halves. Diploblastic means they have two germinal layers. The first is the ectoderm, second is the endoderm. And the tissue level of organization that I have also explained you in the first and the second video. So you can go and check it out there. So the body bears 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates. This you have to remember, this is the feature of this phylum, that the body bears 8 external rows. You have to remember that the number of external rows is 8, not 4, not 16, it's 8. Many a times question is framed on this part and students get confused on 4 ciliated comb plates or 16 ciliated comb plates. So you have to remember the number of ciliated comb plates is 8. So what does this ciliated comb plate mean? Ciliated means there is cilia present on the comb plates and that is the hair-like projections. So what does these ciliated comb plates help in? They help in locomotion. Locomotion means movement from one place to the another. So the digestion is both extracellular and intracellular in case of Phylum Ctenophora. Bioluminescence is a very important property of this phylum. What does this bioluminescence mean? It is the property of the living organism to emit light. It is well marked in ctenophores. So these ctenophores exhibit the property of bioluminescence. Sexes are not separate, that means they are hermaphrodite. Reproduction takes place only by the sexual means. There is no means of asexual reproduction. Fertilization is external with indirect development. Indirect development means there is a larval stage present between the organisms. So the examples of Phylum Ctenophora includes Leurobrachia and the Ctenoplana. So these you have to remember. So next we come on the Phylum Platyhelminthes. So Phylum Platyhelminthes. So the features of this phylum include their dorso-ventrally flattened body. Hence they are known as flatworms. So what does this mean? The body of the Platyhelminthes is like this. Means they have flattened body. These both the surfaces are flat. Dorso-ventrally flattened means this is the ventral portion, the lower one is the ventral portion and this is the dorsal portion. So these are known as flatworms. These are mostly endoparasites which are found in the animals including the human beings. So these flatworms are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and acoelomate animals with organ level of organization. As I have already told you, the sponges were asymmetric animals. Coelenterata and Ctenophora were radially symmetrical, but this is the first phylum which is bilaterally symmetrical. Triploblastic, rest were diploblastic organisms, and this phylum includes triploblastic organisms. This triploblastic word means that these organisms have 3 germ layers, that is the 3 germinal layers. First is the ectoderm, the mesoderm and the endoderm. And these are acoelomate animals. That means they don't have coelom, that is the body cavity, between the body wall and the gut wall. So they also have the organ level of organization. As I have already told you, Coelenterata and the Ctenophora had tissue level of organization. So the hooks and suckers are present in the parasitic forms. As I've already told you that these are endoparasites. Most of the organisms in this phylum are in the parasitic forms and are the endoparasites. So hooks and suckers are present in these forms. Some of them absorb nutrients from the host directly to their body surface, as I have told you that. they are dorso-ventrally flattened. So once they stick to the body surface, they absorb the food from there. So the specialized cells called the flame cells help in osmoregulation and excretion. This is very important, that as I have already told you, Coelenterata have the nidoblast or the nidocyte. They were their important cells, which is their characteristic feature. So the Ctenophora also had their comb plates, so that was their feature, and these organisms of the phylum Platyhelminthes have flame cells. What's the function of these? They help in the osmoregulation and the excretion. Sexes are not separate, that means they are hermaphrodite organisms. Fertilization is internal. Development is through many larval stages, that is the indirect development. Some members like planaria possess high regeneration capacity. This is very important. Many a times it is asked that planaria possess high regeneration capacity. So the examples of this phylum Platyhelminthes include Tinea solium, here it is not written, Tinea solium and Fasciola hepatica. So the common name for Tinea solium is tapeworm and common name for Fasciola hepatica is liver fluke. So here you can see the diagrams. So this is the tapeworm. As you can see, here's the head, this is the tail, and these segments are known as the proglottids. And this is the liver fluke. This is the oral sucker, this is the ventral sucker, this acts as mouth, and this is dorso-ventrally flattened. So this was all about the lecture. I hope you must have liked the lecture. Please share my lecture to your friends and also subscribe to this channel. Do follow my page on Instagram, that is Tudes from NCERT. The link is given in the description box. Thank you so much.